If you have snails in your garden, you can get rid of them. Spray this all over the garden, and the snails will disappear. This natural mixture will repel these pests. Additionally, it eliminates aphids, caterpillars, and deters ants. If you have a garden, you are surely familiar with these pests. Snails can destroy crops, as they enjoy cultivated vegetables and fruits. You probably know that you can protect your crops with methods like using ash. Sprinkling ash around plants creates a barrier that stops snails. Another method is using eggshells. A sufficient layer of eggshells spread in the garden will also deter these pests, though you need a lot of them. Remember that coffee grounds can also be used in the garden like ash and eggshells. But today, I will show you a mixture made from them. Add 1 tablespoon of ground coffee or coffee grounds to 300 milliliters of warm water. Caffeine repels snails and other pests. Next, add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. Garlic is rich in sulfur and allicin, which snails and many other pests dislike. Finally, add 1 tablespoon of mint, either fresh or dried. The essential oils in mint are excellent for repelling ants and snails. Mix everything and leave it for a few hours. Then strain it through gauze or a coffee filter. Dilute with about 3 liters of water. Use this mixture to spray the borders of the garden, paths, plants, and vegetables. Use it regularly, and you'll see that snails won't be as eager to visit your garden. If you do this, your lettuce will be twice as big in a short time. You can start planting it in the field as early spring. Lettuce grows quickly and seems to have modest requirements. However, you might not always enjoy beautiful heads of lettuce. While frost doesn't harm it, something else can significantly limit its growth. Lettuce needs a lot of nitrogen, like all vegetables in the early growth stages. It also needs a lot of calcium. Therefore, it's a good idea to use eggshells for fertilizing lettuce. Crushed into a fine powder, eggshells can be sprinkled into the holes where you plant the lettuce. Eggshells are also useful for protecting lettuce from snails. A layer of crushed eggshells is an excellent deterrent for them, but there's another thing that fertilizes the soil and simultaneously protects the lettuce from snails. Wood ash. Just sprinkle wood ash between the lettuces. It will serve as a good fertilizer and a barrier against snails. With these methods, your lettuce will form beautiful heads and won't be eaten by snails. Your garden weeds will disappear in just a few hours, and what's important, they won't come back. With the arrival of warm and sunny days, weeds start popping up in our gardens. Weeds on the lawn are a nightmare for gardeners, appearing uninvited everywhere. 2 of the most common weeds are dandelions and sow thistles. Although both are weeds, dandelions have many beneficial properties. Until now, the most popular but tedious method to get rid of dandelions from the lawn was to pull them out with their roots. However, I have 2 cheap and easy methods for you. You probably already have these ingredients at home. An effective way to get rid of dandelions from your lawn is to use baking soda. It works well not only for dandelions, but also for other weeds growing on your property. Simply sprinkle the weeds with baking soda, and after a few hours, they will be gone. The second method to get rid of dandelions from your lawn is to use vinegar and salt. Each of these ingredients can be used separately, applying them directly to the weeds. However, a solution works much better. In a spray bottle, combine vinegar with salt. Just remember to apply the solution directly to the dandelions, as it can also damage the lawn. Your lawn will look better than ever. The weeds will disappear for good. I fertilize hundreds of plants with this. Tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, and other vegetables, but also potted flowers and those in the garden. And it is actually cost-free, a whole pitcher of fertilizer for basically peanuts. Sounds great, right? It has potassium in it, which is important for flowering and fruiting. It additionally has phosphorus, calcium, and magnesium in it. It reduces the development of pathogens. It protects the seedlings from rot. Currently, the briquette, as it is referred to, is increasingly used as a better alternative to fertilizers. It can increase yields by tens of % compared to lime fertilizers, for example. Briquettes are compressed coal dust. At the very beginning, take the briquette and break it into small pieces with a hammer. Do this in a bag so that the crumbs do not spill. Now the fine briquette sifts through a strainer into a bowl. You only need the contents of the bowl. Take a pitcher and pour half a liter of warm water into it. Now pour in our briquette. Mix it thoroughly. Another good alternative instead of fertilizer is coffee grounds. Pour a spoonful into the pot with coal and mix. Leave our concoction overnight. On the second day, add 500 milliliters of water. Pour our concoction through a strainer. If you've already done this, you can pour out liquid into a diffuser bottle and spray the plants without any problems. In addition, twice a month you can water your plants with our concoction. You will see the effects for sure. Just 1 teaspoon will protect seedlings from fungal diseases. It will strengthen the seedlings and stimulate root growth. This popular spice has fungicidal and disinfectant properties. Every seedling, whether it's tomato, cucumber, or pepper, is vulnerable to diseases and pests. They can be strengthened and protected using natural methods. All you need is ordinary cinnamon. Sprinkling cinnamon on the soil surface prevents the growth of mold, fungi, and algae. Additionally, the smell of cinnamon repels pests. This will keep the seedlings safe. Fungus gnats and other flies, as well as ants, will not come near them. Cinnamon is also an excellent rooting agent. It helps strengthen weak or damaged plants. Prepare a 1-liter pot. Pour water into it. Rainwater will do. Add 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. Mix well. It will take a moment because cinnamon is hydrophobic. It doesn't dissolve easily in water. Set it aside for 12 hours. After this time, water the seedlings. The seedlings will be healthy and strong. You can also use the mixture as a spray. Strain it through cheesecloth and spray the plants. This natural method will provide the seedlings with the right conditions for growth and development. I've never gotten rid of ants so quickly. I scared them away simply, and they haven't returned. When ants get too close to your home, garden, or your child's sandbox, you just need to spray a homemade solution. It's 100% effective. If you have ants in the sandbox, this will also deter cats that often use the sandbox as a litter box. Start by preparing a bowl of water. Add a few teaspoons of cinnamon to it. Ants hate the smell of this spice. Then squeeze the juice of a lemon and add it to the cinnamon water. This is another scent ants dislike. The next ingredient is coffee grounds. Add a few teaspoons of them. Coffee grounds are one of the best products for repelling ants. Finally, add a few drops of mild soap or dishwashing liquid. Mix everything and let it sit for a few hours. Then strain the mixture. Pour it into a spray bottle. Now, you just need to spray the areas where you see ants. You can spray the soil around plants, benches, or the sandbox. Also, secure the entrance to the terrace. This method isn't harmful to ants or other insects, but it is effective. The ants will simply relocate to another place.